Hello, and welcome to 5-Year Club video number 169. Two things for you today. And the first thing is how you can turn off ad personalization from Google. So you can stop seeing all these things that are just Google tracking you and trying you to get stuff that to buy stuff that you've already clicked on. They'll show you more irrelevant stuff in the ads. The ads will be less compelling, and you will buy less stuff that you would not have brought you joy. And I'm going to leave that as a link in the description. It's another great way to save money. It's another way to get those advertisers off your back and to keep yourself more focused on your real long-term goals. And the second thing today is a really cool calculator. And by really cool, I mean like maybe a little morbid, but also very helpful. So let's make this a bit bigger so we can see the whole thing. And then on the bottom, we want to move this up. Cool. All right. What are we looking at? We are looking at a combination of a retirement calculator with a longevity calculator. And so it is going to give us the full picture of how likely it is at what age that we'll be rich, on track, a little off track, screwed, or dead. So let's play with some numbers, shall we? All right, so we've got $1 million at age 40, and at $40,000 a year, assuming that we die at age 90, they're saying that, well, around a 90%, 85% chance we'll be dead by age 90. But we're saying at age, say, like 70, that there's a 25% chance we'll be dead, less than a 1% chance that we'll be broke, 11.8% chance we'll be in danger, 15.7% chance we'll be on track, 46.5% chance we will have at least two times what we started with. So if we say 46.5 plus 15, that's going to be roughly, I guess, 60%. Did I mess that up? No, I think it's right. Roughly like 60% chance that like things are working out well. And if they're not working out well, there's another 25% chance that we're dead. And only about, I guess 13% chance or so that we are in a financial danger zone, have some financial stress, and or are broke. Less than 1%. So I'd say that's a pretty good, 85% of the time in that scenario, you're either dead or doing financially well. And since we can't control the death part, it's not too bad. And we can change this, right? So we can say, all right, well, if we have $1 million, let's say that we wanted to retire at age 20. Would that be enough on $40,000 a year? Well, we can see that after age 50, there is a substantial chance that we'll be broke. So that's not great. But there's also a decent chance that, we'll have a good amount of money. And if we decrease this from $1 million to $500,000, and let's just say it takes you at least until age 25 to get that. Well, we can clearly see that you're going to be able to live off that $500,000 until you are 34 or so, and then things are going to get really pretty dicey. You're going to start going broke, and there's a high probability that you are not going to be able to retire at age 25 on $500,000 if you are spending $40,000. But if you cut that down to spending $24,000, well, things look a little bit better, but there's still this big pink risk thing. And also in this scenario, we're planning to die at 75. So let's try to die a little bit later than that. Let's try to die, say, 65, 70. 65 is probably good. Cool. So 65 retirement years means, again, we're trying to die at age 90. And this is interesting because it's like it goes up and then it goes down. So it's kind of like if you haven't gone broke by now, you're not likely to go broke. Of course, the this risk of death is increasing too. That's not fun. Anyway, and then let's play with another factor. Let's pick something that's kind of reasonable. So let's go back to retirement age of 40, and let's say 50 years of retirement. And let's say by age 40 you've saved $1 million. That's cool. But let's bump this spending up $40,000 a year. It's pretty reasonable. All right. Now we want to play with the allocation, right? So we're too scared to put 80% of our money into stocks. That scares us too much when we retire. So instead, we are going to only put half of our money into stocks. And then we're going to put the other half more or less into bonds and cash. Right? And we can see that when we do that, our broke percentage is hanging out at around 12% at its peak. If we change this back to stocks, then the broke percentage is only about 6% at its peak. And so by switching to bonds, we have substantially increased the chances that we will go broke. We thought we were being conservative because the stock market is scary. We were afraid of losing money. But as it turns out, that was a bad decision. All we did was increase our risk. Because we are looking at a long-term plan. We're looking at 50 retirement years, not 5 retirement years. And when you're looking at a long-term plan, stocks are a safer bet than bonds when you have a constant cash draw, when you have money needs. And if we want to, if we don't like seeing that death thing, we can get it out of the way and look only at the non-death parts of this graph. But I like to be a realist. Let's include the death part. I don't have too many relatives that lived past the age of 90. So yeah, pretty cool calculator there. The graph shows the likelihood of your balance being at different levels during each year of your retirement and compares it to the probability of dying during this time. Red indicates failure, i.e. you've run out of money, and green indicates success, i.e. you haven't run out of money. The probabilities are calculated based upon looking at stock, bond, and cash returns from historical cycles between 1871 and 2016. If you expect to retire for 50 years, one historical cycle would be from 1871 to 1922, while another one from 1872 to 1923, and so on until 1965 to 2016. Thus, 95 different historical cycles are considered in this case. It is important to note that these frequencies are in the past are not the same as actual probabilities. Just because an outcome happened once in history doesn't mean that there is a 1 in 95% chance of the same thing happening in the future. However, if your retirement portfolio survives most historical cycles, there is a good chance that it'll survive in the future without any major black swan events. Black swan events are like 9/11. They're unexpected negative events. You know, the U.S. being hit by a nuclear bomb. If something crazy occurs, yep, a nuclear war, your retirement balance may be the least of your worries, so we can safely ignore this since there's very little way to prepare for it financially. Cool, so I'm also going to put this link in the description, and you can crunch some numbers for yourself and see when you might be able to retire, how much you would need to retire, how that's going to compare with your chance of death. And I think actually this whole kind of chance of death thing really, it really kind of emphasizes to us that after the age of 45, after the age of 50, that chance of death really starts going up. And so we want to do things in our life, make things happen that we want to happen as early as possible, because once you hit, these middle years, the risk begins to increase that you will not have time to complete your plan and do what you want to do with your life. All right, that's it for 5-Year Club video number 169. Again, links are in the description. Check them out. Enjoy it. Turn off those personalized ads from Google so that you buy less stuff that gets you off track. Have a fabulous evening.